So the next thing I'm going to move on to is your accessibility features. So I'm going to do these really fast, but we will have a separate accessibility RTC. So I'm probably not going to do them justice. I'm just going to show you some of the most commonly used ones in my mainstream classrooms. And then after that, we will in a few weeks have an accessibility RTC that will look up. I'll look at a lot more specifics in here. So if I click in here, accessibility features, I do this with every class because you never know which feature could be useful to a student. So you might know that maybe a different display feature might be different. I find it interesting when I do this with every class that after I do it, sometimes I'm going around helping them on their devices and something looks different. So it might be their font is bold, their screen's a slightly different tone. They might be using speak screen or voiceover. So there's lots of different things that they can find useful. And if they don't know, they won't go exploring. So if we click on accessibility, the first one is voiceover. So voiceover will dictate every movement on your iPad, and it is good for navigation purposes. Magnifier is good for magnifying different parts of the screen as well. The ones that are the most commonly used in my classrooms would be display and text size and spoken content. So those are the ones that I'm going to focus on now. But you will see all the different options in here. Before I go, just one thing, I have a mouse attached to this iPad. So if I go into pointer, you can see that's actually why I have a pointer on here now. I like the green one, but I could do blue or other colors if I want, and I could make it bigger or smaller. I'm just going to put it somewhere in there, but that's where my pointer is coming from. If you were wondering that, you can create a larger size one there. You can hide it. You can increase or decrease your scrolling speed. So I have it not too fast there. And that is where that one's coming from. And I use that a lot for classroom, especially at the beginning, for pointing out different buttons. So if I go in here, and I'm going to go up to these ones because these are the ones that people find useful in the classroom. Bold text, I actually have that turned on. I've had this turned on for about a week now, and it actually is better for me, and I accidentally left it turned on and I never turned it off. It didn't annoy me or anything, and I find it's actually clearer, so I might leave this on for a while, but I can turn it off. That's it without it. I can have larger text. So if I click here, you have different settings. You have large, and then you can actually go larger again. So it could be that a student just needs larger text size on their devices, and you can have labels on and off. So I'm just going to click here. Then you have reduced transparency or increased contrast. So I'm going to increase contrast. You will see that everything here has gone kind of gray and really green compared to the bright green and white. Differentiate without color. So not all of these will display on a recording, but I'm going to show you the ones that do. Smart invert does. It's like dark mode, but it inverts the colors. We have classic invert, and we have color filters. So I know the color filters won't display, I don't think, but the others do. So those are just display options, and they can have the use for a student, or like I said earlier, they might have the student their iPad somewhere and they're doing something in science or home ec where they're reading instructions, and ideally they don't want to be touching their iPad, but they need to be able to see it enlarged. They can increase the size there. Spoken content is the other one. Spoken content has various different options. Speak selection is useful. It can speak instructions to them, and I find they use this quite a lot. So, and I use this for large paragraphs as well. What that actually does, so I have it turned on, and you have different voices and you have different speaking rate. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go into my article from earlier, and for whatever reason, I do not want to read this. Maybe I'm walking, maybe I'm on a train, maybe I'm tired and I want it to read it to me. So I'm just going to turn that off, and I'm going to, now you can have it read everything, but I'm just going to get this paragraph. It can help with pronunciation as well. So I'm going to go here.
We have to go back to the 2003 final. On that hour, for the last time the footballing brain trust was so well exhausted.
So it will speak it to them. So pronunciations and various different reasons it is useful. So those are the ones that I'm going to focus on for now, but do explore all the accessibility features, and there are more information on the accessibility features on Apple Teacher, and there might be something that you've been looking for in there.